Brittany.
And this is
Bitch, Let's Talk.
So before we get started into Pop Tart World, I have some really exciting news for you guys. So BLT Podcast will be hosting a very, very free credit repair seminar. It will be in Towson, Maryland. If you are interested in it, it will be on March 31st. And you can email me for free tickets. It is bltpodcast17@gmail.com. So I really want everyone to come out, be educated about getting your credit fixed, because Lord knows I'm pretty sure you need it, because I know I need it. So please come out, support. It's going to have free food and beverages and really good conversation. So for Pop Tart World this week, I'm really excited about this. So Amazon actually bought this Wi-Fi doorbell from this guy who was a Shark Tank reject. His name is Jamie Siminoff. I don't know if that's his name. I really don't know if that's his last. You know, I get everyone's name mixed up, whatever. He appeared on the show in 2013. He originally started the company as Doorbot, and he actually didn't win at all. He spent his last $10,000 on just the props for the show.
No.
Unfortunately. And 4 years later, Amazon buys it for $1 billion.
Crazy.
$1 billion, which is like insane. And so Richard Branson, who is the billionaire of Virgin Mobile, and rapper Nas reportedly made $40 million off of this investment. So, you know, it just goes to show that when people tell you no, you know, it doesn't mean that you stop working on your plan. You know, you have to really work on your vision. So shout out to Jamie. Your company is $1 billion company, and people who own businesses told your ass no, this wasn't even going to work. Originally, the idea was for to talk to people when they arrive to the door. So I'm assuming like Amazon packages. So when people show up at your house, they'll kind of like let you know like when they're actually there, which is really, really dope. So shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Nas. Because I'm pretty sure like making an investment was
He's getting a part of that.
Allegedly he made $40 million. That's crazy.
Insane.
But yeah, it just goes to show, like, you know, believe in yourself. Because, like, this is 2013, and this man never stopped working his plan. You know, a lot of us get super discouraged when we have ideas. And he even said in the interview that it wasn't the fact that he lost the money. It was the fact that the shark people told him that this wasn't a great idea. Mm-hmm. And look at him now, you know.
They're kind of pretty straightforward, that's why. That's why. It's like, you think they're going to give you a small chance, and they're just like,
but this man had no money. He spent his last on just props for, you know, putting up the show, which I didn't even know. Now that I think about it, like, everyone's props are, like, pretty amazing, but $10,000? I would never expect for that shit to be so expensive.
That kind of money into that.
I don't know. But it just goes to show you really got to believe in yourself. So a lot of people, y'all give up way too easy. And this man, like, continued, like, fuck it. I believe in myself. I know this is going to work. And this man got, when I say $1 billion.
With a B.
Not 1 million, bitch, but $1 billion. So shout out to them. Shout out to Nas and all the other investors who actually believed in this man to make something different happen.
That's like trying to talk to like 1,000 average girls, and then you try to talk to a celebrity, and it just works out.
Yeah. Like
persistence is the key.
What is the fucking odds of that?
Right.
So shout out to them. Like, that is absolutely amazing. So Viola Davis and Lupita will be starring in a true story called The Woman King. I'm really excited about this. So this movie will take place of Dahomey, which is one of the most powerful West African states that was in the 18th and the 19th century. So Viola will play the general of the female military unit, and Lupita will play the daughter who fought the French and neighboring tribes who violated their honor, enslaved their people, threatened to destroy everything they live for. Bitch, when I tell you.
Those two, like.
Everything about this black girl excellence makes me so happy. Like, I really feel like, and this is based off a true story, and I think that the best thing about Black Panther is not just about just talking about just these sci-fi movies, but actually being able to tell real, actual homeland stories, you know, and really setting the narrative. So shout out to Lupita and Viola. She's actually going to be executive producer for this movie. So I'm really excited about that.
for me, I hate slave movies. Like,
I think everyone should.
and so not because it's a slave movie, but because every time something comes out in reference to slavery, it's always the same. So
Yeah.
2 movies are going to be Get Out and like Black Panther. That's what's making me excited for this movie because finally we get to see us coming from something different. Not from slavery, not being beaten. And I get it, you know, it happened.
Right.
At the same time, it's like, why do we have to continuously relive that all the time?
Yeah,
So Black Panther was excellent.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for this new one.
Yeah, but and it's crazy.
Wakanda forever.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it makes me excited.
Yeah, and it's to really tell a true story because, like, when you talk about Africa, I don't really think people understand that it's a continent and not just a country, and how it has so many different histories, so many languages, so many different people, so many different tribes. So, and it even showed this from a female perspective. And I think the one thing about Black Panther, it showed just the strength of females. Not because we had to be, you know, it wasn't, you know, we were left on our own. It was just, we wanted to be because that's what we wanted to do. And so I'm really excited for this movie. I have no idea when this is coming out, but I'm really excited for it. So speaking of Black Panther, today, it actually have reached 1 billion. With a B.
Another B.
Another B. All these billions.
Hey, yes.
Into existence.
I want a billion. They have officially hit $1 billion in the box office. And this has happened less than a month. This is the words I can't even describe of like the proudness I feel.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of people, you know, all these hotep ass people who are talking about, you know, Marvel is all white and all this other stuff. But you have to start from somewhere. And this movie not only gave writers a chance, Ryan Coogler's from Oakland. Like, come the fuck on. Like, it doesn't, come on. And, you know, you having an all-black cast and showing feminism, black feminism. You know, because when we talk about women power, you really don't see that many black people. You see a whole bunch of white women standing up. And not saying that that's wrong, but we need to empower each other as a collective. It shouldn't just be racially divided. And Black Panther just makes me so fucking proud. Because when I saw the little picture, what was like a video or something on Facebook, and there's 2 little black boys.
Yes,
and it says,
I've seen
I
that.
want to be him, and I want to be him. You know, we have to set this narrative for our people so our generations that's coming up under us can think that they have a chance of being something great and not just an athlete and not just a musician, but they can be a writer, they can be a director, they can be an actor, you know, and we really want to start getting into the arts. So I am beyond proud to say this. And so I hope this, you know, beats all the other movies. You know what the #1 movie is, like, of all time?
What?
Fucking Gone with the Wind. Like, this shit blew my mind when I seen that on Google. I was like, what? #2 is Star Wars. #3 is Titanic. I'm actually lying. #2 is Avatar.
Oh
Number
my
three.
God.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Avatar
That
should
is
be-
like one of my favorite movies.
I think Avatar's
That's
coming
crazy.
back out 2019.
Yes. I tell people, I swear
James
to God.
Cameron is amazing.
Like 2 days ago, what's today? Today is
Friday the 9th.
Friday. Yeah, so this was yesterday. Even if it was not yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. I literally just told my coworkers, watch Avatar. Like,
Amazing.
I swear. And so one girl was like, isn't it like 2.5 hours?
Just
And I was
all
like, it
movies.
doesn't matter. It's
Right.
a really good movie. And if you watch it, you're going to be like, damn,
It's
why
captivated.
didn't I ever watch this movie?
But like, shout out to James Cameron. Like, how the fuck you get best movie of all times twice? This nigga got Avatar for #2 and have Titanic as #4.
Titanic was a really good movie.
It really,
Yeah.
it really was. Shout out to Leonardo DiCaprio. That's just, I love
Of
that
course.
man. Shout out to Kate Winslet with her beautiful breasts, but
Right.
really, it's just Leo. She's just Leo. So I heard that Black Panther actually made #10 of best movies of all time. We need to move that up. I mean, but the fact that it's been less than a month,
Right, yeah. It's like
it's just monumental
weeks,
in
not
itself.
even?
like that's
I like
absolutely
that it was
crazy.
diverse too. Like,
yeah,
the guy that sat next to me was white, and let me tell you, I watch Marvel, but I can't say like I'm like super into it. Like if it's good, I'm gonna watch it.
Right.
Period. But I'm not going to the movies just go watch the Marvel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I didn't go see Spider-Man. In the past I have, but you know when it's
Homecoming was good.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Right,
10,
and it's the same story.
You know, I'm not gonna keep on going back. So one thing I didn't know about Marvel movies is that they have like two or three snippets at the end.
Oh yeah, you stay
so
past
the
the credits.
Was like, yeah, you have to stay. Like
Oh,
he made
yeah.
us stay. I mean,
You
he was a white
always have
guy,
to
and
stay.
you know, it made me happy to. Because I want to be able to celebrate my blackness with other diversities, other races too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like if you listen to like Solange's album and her mother talks and she speaks about like how you are like why is being proud of my blackness, like why does that offend you? So that made me proud in that moment, just to be able to sit and have a conversation next to somebody who's another race. And we be, you know, copacetic. And
together,
there's no beef. And because I heard people were like protesting outside of some of them. And
the whites or the
well, I heard it was a few white people protesting.
Of course.
It was a video. It was on Instagram. Of people protesting outside of Black Panther. So,
child, if we could protest at every white movie,
I know
they would make no money.
But that just made me happy because, like, I went to school in York, Pennsylvania. You know, I was the minority in that school.
Child, me and Joy went to school in Boston, honey.
Right,
we know
like you
well.
know, so to be in that aspect of school and to see it, and then what did I do? I came to Randallstown. So it was like totally different.
Yeah,
even though I went to like a predominantly black school before that, just to get in and kind of see how it was. And you know, some people were still experiencing racism.
Yeah,
of course.
You know, and I had never experienced it. So even though we go through these times and we see people experiencing it, I pray that I don't. But things like that make me happy, and I still root for my people who do, because
absolutely,
you know, I'm black, so I would never turn the cheek and act like it's not happening.
Absolutely,
I'm pretty light, so maybe that's why
you blend. You blend.
I don't got time.
Yeah,
listen, don't leave me alone, okay?
So, also, A Wrinkle in Time by Ava DuVernay actually made $1.3 million Thursday night. So that's actually not even the damn debut day.
The opening night.
Yeah, so the main actress, her name is Storm Reed, who is a black girl. And it also shows other women of color like Oprah. Shout out to Oprah. I just love that woman. And Mindy Kaling. I never can get people's last name right. But she is a part of the Mindy Project. It's literally one of my favorite shows. I just finished the whole entire thing. It was really sad. But, yeah, so Disney is just killing it right now.
Yes.
Disney, yeah.
I need to invest in some Disney stock because it's getting real way too quick. So, shout out to Ava DuVernay, and I hope people really support A Wrinkle in Time, because not only do we see, when we think of like children's movies, we really don't see little black girls being the top actress. You know, we always see them in the background. They might have like 3 words or something like that. So Ava DuVernay actually said like she fought really hard to have her, because not only is she a black woman, but she has like reddish hair.
Aww.
And I love that. You know, to have like a little black ginger girl. I love that. So I love that Ava
have a ginger friend, like, you know.
Yeah, don't discriminate against the gingers. But, you know, I really just love the woman diversity of it all. So, shout out to Disney for just making so much money right now for 2 movies.
And trying to go with the flow and
but you know,
lead us in a way that makes us happy.
That's why they really doing it.
I love my people, because of I know it's bad. Like in certain lights it looks bad, in certain lights it look good. But when we come together, we come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the good part.
When we
really want to.
When we
feel
want to
some
show
type
out.
of way, like, oh, it's not enough black in Disney. Guess what? We're gonna be right outside of Disney with our signs.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yes, we're gonna be
gonna
waiting at
stop
you at the door, honey.
That money gonna go down, and then they gonna, they're gonna bring it back, and then we gonna start spending them coins.
Yes. So if you are in the DMV area, I don't know if you guys heard about what happened yesterday with 93.9.
Of course.
The fam. So Danny Starr is a radio personality, also Quicksilver and 5'9". So to give you a little bit of backstory of what happened.
Ooh. So
allegedly Danny Starr, she's a radio personality. She put an ad out for a babysitter for her children. So I'm assuming there was some girls, popped in the DM, So the girl who was on the radio show actually stated that she was discriminated against because she was pretty. And so Quicksilver and 5'9" actually ambushed this girl. And if you haven't seen it, it's online. And so they're pretty much bashing Danny Starr, letting her know that discriminating against her attractiveness is wrong. And Danny Starr's like, I can say whatever I want to say because these are the people that's going to be watching my child. I need to be mindful of who's going to be around my husband. I need to, I have the final say, and it's okay. It has nothing to do. And they try to blame it on her insecurities. They try to blame it on her being jealous. And it's like, this girl is supposed to be a rapper, actor, singer, whatever the hell
she's an Instagram model, essentially.
She's a Tatiana. That's what the fuck she is.
No.
But
one of the...
So the girl who wanted to be a babysitter is essentially a Tatiana. And so I was really offended by it because the one thing about being a journalist and being in media, you always start with integrity. And I feel like if that's your co-host, they've disrespected her so badly. And Quicksilver said that he was trying to be diplomatic, but diplomacy means neutrality. And so you really can hear them in the back saying, like, get him. Yeah. Like it's a roast session, opposed to, allowing her to talk. And, so she actually quit on air yesterday, unfortunately. And so today, Kathy Hughes, who's actually a black female who owns TV One and a lot of radio stations such as 93.9, she actually suspended Quicksilver and 5'9". And what she did was she was also on the show, and she got other female DJs on the show to fill in for them, just to show female empowerment and let them know that we don't tolerate this type of disrespect. It was beyond disrespectful. And I really feel like if I am the gatekeeper of my home, if I want to say, I don't want you in my home because your hands are too fucking big, I can say so. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If you're coming into my home, there's a whole different mindset of you than coming into my office. So, and if you see this girl, like she looks like a Tatiana. Yeah. Like she looks like the rest of these Kim Kardashian wannabe girls. And it's like, but I'm saying, like, if you're an actor, rapper, singer, songwriter, whatever the fuck you want to be.
So she can't have fake tits and a fat ass and want to take care of some kids?
No. Because guess what? I don't want whatever type of look you have. Certain looks are not going to be appropriate for my children based off the way I want to raise them. I understand that, but if you were on, I don't know what to expect.
Okay, so I feel you on that, but it's also how you present yourself. So if you want a job where you're watching kids or you're babysitting, you come a certain way. We will notice you have big tits and a big ass from what you have on, but if you dress in that way just around, some people just don't want that. It's no different than a job, a workplace. So, you know what I mean?
So what image did she submit to the employer?
Right, that's what I want to know.
That's what I'm curious
Like, how did she... Because that would be the only reason. Now,
if
she didn't,
if
she was okay, then yes. That's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because then that would be like, okay, y'all just judging the girl now. So if she was appropriate, then I feel you. But if not,
but she was saying like, oh, I'm gonna stand up for all the pretty girls, and it's like disrespectful to Danny because it's like, well, am I not a pretty girl?
She's pretty,
and she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous girl, and I just feel like I don't know if it was a joke that was turned wrong. Right. But either way, like, it was very inappropriate and very embarrassing, very tasteless. And this is supposed to be the so-called fam. I really think this conversation could have been had off air.
Exactly.
I don't really think this conversation should have even been on the fucking radio. Right. So I stand and support Danny Starr. I think what Quicksilver and 5'9" did was disgusting.
And did you hear Quick's wife?
Let me tell you, I don't even know what her name is. But if you're listening, shout out to you
Yes.
and checking that little short little man because you don't because because if your wife is calling up and like, bro, you need to chill out, like you're being way too disrespectful, you know you really crossed the line. And I don't know if they did it for ratings. I really don't know what the hidden agenda is. Either way, you don't respect our black queens that way. And there's so many different ways that you could have went about that we could have got a different result. But when you be disrespectful and classless, this little Tatiana girl, like now she got 15 minutes of fame, and it's just a waste of time. You know, so regardless of what the reason it may be, if I don't want you around my kids, I don't want you around my kids.
Right.
Like it's so
like you don't need exactly.
And the thing about it, she's not even experienced. She's talking about she just watched her nieces and nephew. It's like she's a certified daycare provider, or she has a degree in children's psychology.
Be careful, people.
She don't have no
getting off Instagram now, watching your kids.
Yeah, like hell no. You talking about watching your nieces and nephews?
She added that to her bio.
Right, but she was experienced actress. Right, but she was inspired actress, singer, rapper, songwriter, model. Right. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Whatever you need, email my manager.
If you still got booking apps, you can't be around my kids, yo. If you still got booking info, absolutely not. So, shout out to Kathleen Hughes to suspending them.
Yeah, I didn't know they got suspended.
Yeah, they really did.
So he got the preset stations, and I was so taken back by this. I took 93.9 off mine, so now I might put it back.
And that's good because I didn't even know, so I'm just hearing about this.
Oh yeah,
it was disgusting. It was bad. Yeah. And like I heard some of it, but I thought they were talking about like a celebrity. I didn't know they were actually going in on their own co-host. Yeah, you know, and they were like, "Oh, I allowed you to talk." Like, excuse me, perdón. Like, what do you mean? You allowed me to speak. I couldn't believe it. The irony of it is that this happened on Women International's Day. You do the most disrespectful shit where we're honoring our women. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Kathy because I would have suspended them niggas too. Like I don't even know if they still have jobs.
That's their day on that day. I just wonder how that works. I'm gonna start giving days for things that I want.
I feel like that's how it works though.
I mean, sure. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of charities involved in things that happen during the month. Like a lot of foundations that probably do a lot of stuff during a certain time. So if you want to start your own certain days, you probably gonna have to get some money. So I don't know how this gonna work out for you.
I'll just do it.
But you know what, women like it's just because that's a woman's thing. Like men would have International Men's Day
every day.
They just tried. That's all. Like, am I lying?
Absolutely not.
Not wrong.
Because women fight for that. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like it is facts that women are undermined by men in corporations, companies. You know what I mean? It's facts. So it's just, I think that they did that just to give women a recognition because they fight so hard for it. Whereas though sometimes, my opinion of men, sometimes, not all, but sometimes it's almost like how people say about the black race sometimes. How people, they want justice for this, that, and the third, but they lazy. They don't put into, like with riot, like when we had the riots with the Freddie Gray, and how people were like, oh, y'all want change, but like nobody's out here rioting. My thing is, I don't have to riot to make a change. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's the same
and that's
thing
actually,
with women, and I feel like it's the same thing with men. If men want an International Men's Day, they'll get one. They just have to try. Women still out here fighting to this day, you know, for equality, even pay. Like, who just, it was somebody that just got in somebody's ass about not getting paid the same. Tracy Ellis Ross.
We just talked about that on the show.
She did. So, hey.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's sad, but you know we're still fighting a good fight, and so shout out to the women out there who's fighting for our equality, just literally everything. But and Kathy Hughes, like, thank you for setting that straight and just showing the example that we will not tolerate this type of disrespect in any form on any platform. So shout out to them. So for our Black Magic this week, I'm really excited about this. So Jordan Peele won an Oscar. He's the first Black person to win an Oscar for Best Director for a Screenplay.
Yes.
For a motherfucking
Get Out.
Literally the scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Only because I feel like it's just it's a true story. I feel like it's more like I really feel like it's more like a documentary than anything.
It was a documentary.
Maybe he was in the wrong category, but
wow,
he really deserved that, and he looked so prestigious, and it's just so weird to see him like in a serious light because I'm so used to him in Key and Peele.
Joking, and
he had the little salt and pepper beard. He was really nice.
Actor. Like Key and Peele was actually really funny.
It is, and shout out to Kay for like almost doing like a cartwheel when that man
he
won.
was so
like,
excited. I know.
That's the friends you need. Like if your friends are not congratulating you and like over the moon about your success, get new friends. Like seriously. Because that man was like over the moon about his accomplishments, and I'm really, really excited about that. So shout out to Jordan Peele. Also, Kobe Bryant won an Oscar, surprisingly. And he's the first Black person to win a Best Animated Short Series for Dear Basketball. I have no idea what that shit consisted of.
Just know that it's shit. Yeah.
And I'm proud. I'm really proud that he won. But I'm kind of salty because like Leonardo DiCaprio only has one, and he been putting out great movies.
And let's talk about Angela Bassett too.
Yeah, let's talk about Auntie Ange. This woman has been everybody's mama. She might even be my mother.
I think her is extra special.
It needs to be. Like she literally been everything.
Yeah.
But and it was so funny because I was talking about this online, and I was like, damn, Kobe Bryant and Leonardo DiCaprio have the same amount of Oscars. Something was wrong with that picture.
Yeah, like what the hell is going on?
Wolf of Wall Street, Revenant? Titanic, The Revenant.
So much shit.
It's like
he was in Revenant.
Yeah.
Fucking The Aviator.
Like the A-League. Kobe Bryant is in like the G League, like because it's easier to win something. Like who's out here watching for animated series wins?
But I mean, I think that was a very creative way for him to express his love for basketball. So I would say shout out to Kobe for that. But at the same time, I need the Oscars. Even though I'm pro-Black, I love Leo. That's my brother from another. And I need him to get more Oscars. He's an amazing actor. So he needs more Oscars. If you're going to get Kobe an Oscar, Leonardo needs like 4 more. Like he's behind. So, I mean, but shout out for them too. Auntie Anne, it's coming.
She deserves.
It's coming. I'm
to
speaking it into existence. Yeah, Auntie Anne, I want to know what she puts on her face.
Oh my God.
I want to know if she was sucking
her
baby
body.
blood. I don't know what the hell she's been doing. That woman could be 100 or 12. I can't tell.
She's almost 60.
It's ridiculous.
Right, and if you don't watch 911, watch that. Okay?
It actually really is good. And if you can't catch it, it's definitely on Hulu.
That show too.
So you can watch 911. And if you want to see her on American Horror Story, she's amazing.
Oh my God, The Covenant was
The Covenant
was the best season.
Literally the best season of American Horror Story. So that makes me really fucking happy. But yeah, shout out to Jordan Peele and Kobe Bryant. Girl,
hands down.
Your life will change.
What season is that?
I think it's 3.
That's not the one with the witches, is
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay, my cousin told me to watch that. Shout out to my cousin. That's the one I didn't watch yet.
Oh my God, it's the best one.
I started on Freak Show. I didn't know about it.
But Freak Show was amazing.
Freak Show was good.
Yeah.
But
me and Brittany are like American Horror Story
like
watchers.
Fans.
Honey, I will watch the 3rd season twice, back to back, if I need to.
Y'all probably still shop at Hot Topic.
We don't. I don't even know Hot Topic is so open.
I love Hot Topic for graphic tees, though.
I like Hot Topic for the lip rings and like their funny sex games.
Yeah, the little sex.
If you ever need a onesie, like a sleeping onesie or whatever, they have.
They freak you out.
You know my child trauma. I can't.
Oh.
No, not rape. It's like I used
Oh my God.
I don't want people to think that.
Superheroes and stuff, but
I used to go Hot Topic for my lip rings and their jeans. Their jeans actually kind of like fit me because I'm short. I don't know if all the little punk rock people were short.
Probably.
But their jeans fit me. And shout out to all the zipper pants people that used to wear.
Yes, they used to be so big.
Girl, with them damn
With
chains.
the chains.
Oh, God.
Chains came with them.
With some checkered Vans.
Stop it. Stop
they
it.
Had the fishnet.
Yes! Oh my God!
With the thumb. With the
fingers out. Oh my, they like gloves with the fingers out.
Honey, niggas had them little Spider-Man webs in their damn forearm.
God.
Yeah, but shout out to them.
We're not making fun of you.
No, we love you.
No,
because we definitely
memories,
did it.
right?
Everybody did it.
I mean, I had no chain plans, but I definitely
everybody
was friends with y'all.
It was it was a Hot Topic phase, Hot Topic and Spencer's.
It's Spencer's,
It was a Hollister and American Eagle phase.
I remember American Eagle.
People,
I can't fit their pants.
People used to go to Aeropostale and people used to make fun of them.
Oh my goodness.
Because they went to Aeropostale.
Yeah.
You weren't shit if you went to Aeropostale, but you were the shit if you went to Hollister.
Wait, you only were cool wearing Aeropostale in middle school?
Yes.
Once you get to high school, you had to upgrade to Abercrombie.
Abercrombie, yes, that's the one I found.
I swear, every time I go in that store, I have the smell in my pores for like 3 days.
forever.
No, but that music be lit.
You need a glow stick, girl, when you go in there. Because it's going the fuck down.
I love Abercrombie music. I be trying to use Shazam.
And when you took your clothes home, before you wore them that whole time until you wore it in the bag or whatever, it smelled just like the store. I swear, in the morning,
the bag, my body smells.
They just spray all the
shit out of those clothes.
Yo, you can take a shower and still smell Abercrombie. The shit is just
they just
too
need
real.
somebody dancing around with the glow sticks. The music be loud as shit too.
Yes.
Yeah, what size you getting? I don't know. That's how I be in there. I swear.
Well, for our panel discussion for this week, we're actually going to be celebrating Women's Month, and I think it's really important for the month of March to celebrate our female entrepreneurs.
Women.
Yeah. So, our special guest for this week is the owner of the Big Crave, Miss Brayer. How are you?
Woo.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to Bitch Let's Talk. I mean, you've been hearing her talk, but...
I've been talking the whole damn time.
Thank you for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. So let me just give you a little insight on Bray. We went to high school together. We had Mr. Savage together. We did no work in math class. I don't know how I got an A in that class, but we did literally no fucking work.
It was just hard to learn, honestly.
He was, and he looks like Dilbert, so that's really distracting.
Oh my God, he does. Aw. I felt so bad for him, though.
Shout out to Mr. Savage, because he still got that
shout out to
spiky haircut and everything. He still got the same outfit and everything.
Yeah, he tried. Some days he tried, some days he didn't.
He just was, some days he was
But
like,
I
fuck
understood
it.
why he didn't when he did. Your kids is bad as hell.
He was bad as fuck. He was bad as fuck. So Bray owns the Big Crave, and I must say she actually made a birthday cake for me. She did. So let me tell you, I asked for a strawberry shortcake with white chocolate on top of the cake and on the inside of the cake. I didn't even know she could actually pull that off. Because, like, white chocolate hardens, and so I didn't know she would be able to make a soft cake with white chocolate. And somehow, she finessed the fuck out of
And you know
this.
what's crazy now that I'm thinking about it? I could have did, like, a really thick layer of chocolate. I wonder how that would
You can make it again.
I'll bring you one somebody to the show. How about that? I'll bring you one.
Yes. So I seen her stuff on Instagram. And I've heard people say, like, yo, you got to try Bray stuff. You got to try it. And so when I got it for my birthday, it was really funny because I was in D.C. and, like, these guys were like, your cake looks so much better than my cake. So can you have a piece of your cake? And so they were like, who the fuck made this shit? And I was like, oh, Bray, you can go to Big Crave. And, you can get in contact with her that way. So her shit is really amazing. And I don't lie about food.
No, she doesn't.
No, I don't lie about food. I might lie about some other shit, but I don't lie about no food, child. So let me ask you, like, how did you get starting into baking? Because originally, when Bray was in high school, she was doing hair. So how did you transition from doing hair into baking?
So, I guess I'll give you, like, a brief history. So when I graduated from high school, I was originally going to the Arts Institute of Philly. That's where I was going.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but then I lost my brother. So that turned my whole, like, world upside down.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, but I did hair. I used to braid my brother's hair, and I used to braid, like, my best friend's hair. I was in elementary school braiding her hair, which is crazy. And then I had two brothers with hair, and I used to braid their hair, too. So once I got in middle school, I'll never forget the first time I had seen a flat iron. They were Revlon flat irons. They were white. Remember Golden Hots? They were
yes. I still got
so
Golden
that's
Hot.
how I used to do my hair. My mom used to do my hair on the stove with the Marcel's and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like in the 5th grade doing my own hair with Marcel's on the stove. Now, some people like, oh no, my 5th grade is not going to go touch no fire on the stove.
Right,
but
right.
I did my own hair. I watched her. She used to put it on that fire, then put it in that, you got to check if it's going to burn your hair, so you got to get the paper towel. And if it burned the paper towel, that's how you knew that, But yeah, I'll be 29 this year, so yeah, that's like old school for you. You knew that your hair would literally burn if you put it on a paper towel and it turned brown. So you're like, whoa, it's still too hot.
Right.
So I remember the Revlon flat irons coming out, and they were really small. They were like 1 inch, and I learned how to do feather wraps. Right?
Yeah.
It was history.
You better get that feather up with them pink curls, girl.
So when I came to Randallstown, my sister was going to this salon called Star Stage, and it was this girl, God rest her soul, Danielle. She had did my hair for the first time, and she gave me a feather wrap, and I loved it. And so my sister, she was like really sedity. She was really into that. She was like, yeah, this is how you curl your hair. And I remember we got our hair done in the blizzard. I was so pumped. I had never had my hair like that, and she used to have like the feather. It was just so cute. And I got my hair done like that, and I loved it. And I learned how to do it, and I started doing my brother's girlfriend's hair. And once I graduated, and then my brother passed away, like I said, I was going to go to the Arts Institute. And then I remember having some friends that were like, well, you know how to do hair, so why don't you just go to school for hair until you like really figure out, what you want to do or whatever. But get your mind right in this process, and you can make money doing this because you're good at it.
Right.
So I went to hair school. I only did a year. I was full-time. And by the time I was 19, I had turned 18 that year when I started, that July. So when I was 19, I was so scared I started working for Old Navy. I was like, I'm scared to do hair. Like, I had graduated, but I was scared, so I started working for Old Navy. I had a friend. My brother's girlfriend, she was older than me, about maybe 6 years, something like that. And she had a friend. Her name's Demira Baker. She owns Mirror Salon. Okay. Before I met Demira, I have a friend named Felisa. She had me in this shop called is it Head to Toe? I can't remember the name. I'm sorry.
Girl, you might get your head in the head to toe. Girl, we fly from head to toe.
I don't know if that's the name now, but it was on Route 40, and I started working there for a little bit. I think I worked there for like 4 months, and then I met Demira, and I was assisting her. So I was on commission, and I was assisting. So I was getting paid for both, and that was really how I started. Like, working under her was a blessing. I learned a lot. She taught me a lot. And I was one of her first employees, so it's almost like the little teacher's pet, because you get to learn more, you get to see more. So I started doing hair, and then I was just good at it. I was super good at it, and to this day, I still do hair. I went to hair school after I graduated. It was the 2007 year, so I graduated like 2008, maybe like October. And then I worked at Old Navy for a few months. And then I started doing hair initially. So I've been doing hair ever since. And it was just something that I know how to do. I never would have thought in 1,000 years that I would... First of all, I never would have thought in 1,000 years I'd be 29. So, I mean, I'm 28. I'll be 29 in July. But to look back 10 years of my life that I've been doing this, I would have never thought. So, that was just how I kind of got into it. It was kind of something like I just had a little bit of motivation, a little push. I went through some things, and sometimes things that happen in your life really will give you a detour. Like, you're going this way, and then something will happen, and now you're going another way. But I realized, like, I was good at it. I started, thank God I came into the social media world. Like, I had social media, like, I talk to young kids all the time. I feel old as hell because I talk to them all the time on social media. And I'm like, I was on Black Planet, like, dead ass. Oh, my God. I was 15 years old. I was on Black Planet.
MySpace.
And then MySpace came.
And AOL chats, Yahoo chats.
It was MySpace after that. So I had a Black Planet. Once I graduated from school, MySpace was out. Well, MySpace was when I was in high school. So coming out of high school, I was using MySpace to promote, and then Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
We found Black people found out about Facebook, and yeah, because white people already come on, white people. Y'all know. Y'all already knew about it. The college kids.
It was
knew
college
kids.
kids.
Like my friend in California knew about Facebook.
We didn't know about that shit. I don't know how the hell that shit came. It came out of nowhere, but I loved it. And once Facebook came, that's when I was really popping because I understood. So Demira taught me about marketing and promoting myself. And so the Artscape would come, and we had to literally get all of these flyers made, and we would go down and we would promote our business. So it showed me, and people would come. So that's what made me realize how important social media plays a really big part just in you trying to market yourself. Why not? This is free marketing for yourself. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. Your coin is your persistence.
Right.
So if you're persistent, you'll get the people. And I've never, all you have to do, like, you can have no self-confidence at all. If you get on social media and act like you do you know how many people will like cling on to that?
Absolutely.
And cling on to you but have some. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, that is the power of social media. It doesn't even matter. Like, it's just what people see at the time. So if you are persistent, you're like, how many times have you watched something on TV or like for instance, here's my example. I like to play games, like on my phone. How many times have you seen that sponsored ad for that fucking game that you never download? You know, fuck this, I'm downloading it. I'm downloading it because it keeps showing me, you know? Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Like, you know what? This girl does hair really good. She just keeps even with the cakes. Like, I literally had one of my friends' family members tell me they was on my cake page, and I never told them about the page or anything. They're like, that's crazy.
Just see it.
I was just on your page. You know, somebody showed me my friend, which is crazy because I don't know the friend. So it just really, really, for me, so once I started getting into baking, I understood that. So
what inspired that, though?
The baking? So when I came, first of all, I come from a family of cooking. Like my grandmother.
Wait, your mother made me a cheesecake before. It was a strawberry cheesecake, and that shit was amazing. I forgot about that.
She was selling pies and cheesecakes.
She made me a whole cake.
Yeah. A whole cake? She gonna make you a half?
No, she could have made me a slice. I mean, you know how like when some people make like the little baby bean pies and shit.
She makes like the baby ones, and she makes like
the bigger ones.
Yeah.
She made me a big one. This is before Brayer actually started cooking, and I remember hitting her up
because I was promoting her on Facebook.
Yeah, you were, and I hit her up.
I wasn't baking yet.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, your mother's cake looks so good." And you were like, "Just get it. It tastes really good." So I actually brought it to the Cheesecake Factory, and the people who were the waiters. We shared with them because it was like, we can't eat this shit.
I'm gonna tell her that she's gonna be pumped.
And they were like, "Yo, this is delicious. Like, this is amazing." So,
and I like Cheesecake Factory, so that's like,
yeah, I know,
that
kind of big,
right?
Right.
I have to tell her. I have to relay that information.
Yeah, please tell.
So, like I said, I come from a family of cooking, and we gonna take it all the way back to when I was a kid. I always tell people, like, anybody that knows me that has had a conversation about me and my mom and cooking, I always say, look, her food been good as hell. My mom's food has been good since it was like nothing. Like, she could hook anything up. A damn tuna fish, she would hook it up. Like, oodles and noodles, she would hook that shit up. And so, you know, when you get older and you try to make it yourself, you're like, damn, why it don't taste like this? Right? So, I think once I had started cooking myself and I realized that it didn't taste how I needed it to taste, I dedicated myself to making it taste that
better.
way. Right. So one thing that I love is like Shannon, because that's what got me into baking, and I'm going to talk about that. We used to enjoy cooking with each other, like come over each other's houses and literally cook. Young as hell, like 17 years old, cooking. Come on, y'all want to come to breakfast? I remember one time, and it's so funny because my father was out of town, and I invited some of my friends over, and of course my brother was there, Brandon. We had an Italian dinner one night,
Excuse me.
We was like,
right.
we gonna act like Italians. Like, I swear, this was so funny. We made all of this stuff, like all this different Italian foods, like lasagna and spaghetti and shit, like chicken parmesan. Chicken parmesan was my favorite. So we made it, and I will not forget, I invited a whole bunch of my friends, and one thing I specifically remember is my brother, he put like some tissue in his mouth, and he was like trying to talk like how to say it. Yeah. So it was just little stuff like that we would do, and we would make it so fun.
What is that? Right. So what does that do? What does that do?
I started hanging with one of my friends really heavy. Her name is Kirsten. We started hanging together really, really heavy, and we grew up together. And you know how you have like those years, like I hadn't seen you in a long time.
I know.
And then you just came out of nowhere, like, and so that it was the same way with her. And we just got really, really close. And then a couple of my other friends, we all got close, and we used to cook together. So we would all come over each other, like, what y'all doing? We cooking. And so it was almost like we used to try to outcook each other. Like, girl, what you cooking today? So like one time, what did Kim cook? This girl cooked cheese steak egg rolls. That was the first time I was like introduced to that. So for me, I was always intrigued by it. Like, dang, what else can I cook? What else can I cook? So from there, I just started. I downloaded this recipe app called Yumly. And then from there, I just was obsessed. My mom back in the day, she was obsessed with baking. She could always cook really good, but she was obsessed with baking. And she used to, I remember her buying this binder, and it had recipes. And you could always go to the store and keep buying more and more pages to put in that book. And she would just, it was so, I used to just scroll and just be looking at it like, damn, I want to make this. How do you make this? So fast forward, we just we made a hobby out of cooking, which is so crazy. Me and my friends, any of my friends, I will bring them any of them, and they would say yes. That's what we do. Like, we just cook, and we love that shit. We all sit around the table just like this and cook. So who cooking tonight? 2 people cooking. All right, them 2, and then who gonna cook next week? Us 2. Right. That's really how it was. So then I went to Randallstown, and I met Shannon. And so when we graduated, she was on the same tip. It just fell into place. We would just cook all the time. And so 2 years ago, February made 2 years for the baking business.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I remember her coming to me. I will never forget this. She was like, I know you like cooking, but what do you think about baking? And so I told you that's my mom's specialty. She bakes. Like, she bakes from scratch. Like, pound cakes, sweet potato pies. You had the cheesecake from scratch.
Amazing, yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I'm not really a baker. I said, but let me bake one cake. And if I bake it right, it's on. I baked that cake. It was a strawberry shortcake. You know how the original strawberry shortcakes are with like the Cool Whip on them? I made it like that. Perfect. I posted that cake. My sister's brother, he was my first customer. I will never forget that. Yes. It's funny. If he hear this, he'll die. He was my first customer. He said, you made that? I said, yeah, I made it. All right, can you make me one? How much is it? And so that put me in the light of, damn, I got to be persistent. I knew right then and there, like, if this one person can ask me, just off of me posting this picture, it took me back to head. It took me back to that day one when I started something else. So then I realized how they all tie together.
Right.
It's not about what you do. It's just how you out here doing it.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? You got some people out here doing stuff. You like, I can do that. But guess what? You might do it and you might never make as much money as them because it's how you do it. Absolutely. So I realized, like, once I started and I was posting and I was getting feedback to keep going. And Shannon was in Atlanta. And, you know, I do hair or whatever. And, you know, over time, I just started telling her, like, it's getting a lot. Like, you know, I don't want this to flop. I don't want this to flop. I really, you know, we need people. I of course, we're two regular black girls. I'm a true hustler because, you know, I have this whole salon job where my money's not always guaranteed. Right. So I might make a good amount of money this week, but the next week I might be broke. Right. So it was just a lot of sacrifice that I had to put into it. And then, you know, because I've done hair for so long, at this point I just know how to run a business. I don't need a whole corporation to know how to make a coin and how to keep it or whatever. So I just told her, I was like, listen, if this is a business that we're going to have, understand your business is your baby, and you're going to do what you have to do to take care of your child. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if this is something that you're really passionate about, and you hate to have those type of conversations, but you have to. And I have them with her because I don't want it to be you work for me. We doing this together. So we both need to have a business mindset. I don't want to ever come down like you're my employee. We're partners. So I'm going to give you, just like a mother and a child, the necessities to move forward to the next level, but we're going to do it together.
Absolutely.
So that was why she moved. And that's when I understood that she understood what sacrifice is about. Yeah. You're comfortable where you are. You came from Atlanta. That's a big, that's just, it's different. She was down there for years since we had graduated. And you get comfortable in things. But like I asked her, with making sacrifice comes struggle sometimes. And are you ready for that? Are you ready to really work for this? Because this isn't coming at 9 and get off at 5, and this is how much you made today.
Right. Absolutely.
This is, you might have to take a loss this day, or you might have to, or you might make a really good profit this day. But are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to put in your blood, sweat, and tears into this?
Absolutely. Because
we always go into things thinking that we're just going to win. Sometimes you got to lose in order to win. You know what I mean? So that was just how I initially got started. And then, like I said, Instagram was just my best friend. And then it was, but when we first started, I lied to you not. My first thing that I told her was, I don't want to be, I never wanted to work with fondant. Let's be honest. I never wanted to work with fondant. I wanted to do strictly buttercream at first. But we were still getting all these fondant orders. So I was just doing it. So when I was in high school, I had learned how to draw. And then once I learned how to draw, I never pursued it. I should have, though. Because now that I'm doing this, I'm doing a lot of stencil drawing myself, like freehand drawing and stuff. And I'm a lot better than I thought I was. Like, it's been a very long time. So I love it because I'm starting to sharpen up on skills that I forgot I had. You know what I mean? With hair and how long I've been doing it, even though we're going more into like the tutorial phase where everybody wants you to show them how you do stuff. Right. And so I love baking because I'm in my own zone. I don't have anybody like standing over me, judging me, and I can just do things my way. But I always tell my clients and my customers, like, tell me what you think. I want to know from the tea. Like, did you like the way it looked? Is it what you expected it to look like? Is it what you expected it to taste like? And when I started the business with Shannon, I told her, I said, look, I don't want to work with fondant, and I don't really care. All I care about is how good it tastes. That's all I cared about. So, and I feel like we can still perfect the taste, but right now we get really good reviews, and that makes me really happy because that's what my mother had based her baking off of, taste.
Yeah.
And she gave me some secrets. So I'm working on trying to have like an actual boutique bakery because I want people to be able to walk in and come.
Absolutely.
I want to have things sitting out for people to
So right
take.
now it's just you and Shannon that's making the cakes.
Yes,
you don't have any help.
I'm gonna say shout out to my brother too because he's a really big help, and he's probably gonna come work with us once we get the space and everything like that. Because right now I'm out of my house, but it's all good because people don't care and they just come get it or whatever. Or I deliver. Yeah. A space for me? We can definitely talk about that.
Yeah, look at that.
Like dead serious, see?
Look at these black people working together.
I'm serious because I have been looking at some places, and that is one of my goals now. It is now because I needed a year or two to see how everything was going to work out, and I do watch Shark Tank. Yes. I do because it teaches you how to be a lot of times when I was watching it, and I was just telling one of my friends, she's trying to get into party planning, event planning, whatever. And I was just telling her, I was like, Shark Tank is a good show to watch. Also because I went to the bank before because I wanted to get an idea of when you're looking for a business loan. How does that work? What do you need? And a lot of times they tell you about making a business plan.
Absolutely.
Making your business plan. And so when you watch, I told her to watch Shark Tank because on Shark Tank, they ask you a lot of questions that you probably never would have thought of the answers to.
Absolutely.
So when they ask some of them, they be like lost for words. They don't really know what to say. So I was like, think about every little thing and sometimes go to somebody. I was like, you can come to me, girl. I was like, I'm messing around and ask you something you would have never thought. You know what I mean? You'd be like, damn, I didn't think about this. Like somebody did it to me. When I first started baking, I had the privilege, I'm going to say, to go. I had a side job at the airport, and I'm like a hustler. Like, it doesn't matter. Listen.
Are you Jamaican?
Yes.
You're like, girl,
my dad is Jamaican.
Oh,
there you go.
It's in the blood.
But I always look at it like you can never be comfortable in one thing. Like, if you have to branch out here, everybody know a millionaire got like 7 sources of income.
Absolutely.
So don't ever limit yourself to one.
Facts.
I don't have any kids. I don't have no kids. I don't have no husband. So I'm gonna get out here and get this money.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Get that money.
Because I know I talk a lot too. But I met a guy. He was a white guy too. And he was selling popcorn, and he has like a little.
I didn't expect
like,
that.
You ever? It's weird. It was weird to me. It was weird, but okay. So in the airport, it's called the Air Mall, and that's basically where everybody sells what they sell. So when you walk in the airport, when you're like the food spots, like McDonald's, but then you also have like stands of people selling clothes, selling electronics, and so I was trying to get into the Air Mall. That was my thing. I was like, dang, I want to have something in the mall, maybe the Air Mall, whatever. So this one guy was like, well, you know what? Before you make that decision, let me take you over to this guy. So my first experience, and I'm so glad that I got it, was he was like, well, how much do you make? Do you know how much you make like off of this before your profit? And I was like, huh? Because the thing about it is I can go to the store and buy blah, 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 whatever I need. Like I make my buttercream and all that good stuff. But I never thought about that. And so I'm glad that he asked me that, because now if I ever go to get a loan for something, or just to have my business plan in general, if somebody asks me, I know the answer to that question.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to ever block an opportunity because I didn't know that answer.
Yes.
So that was like, I was so happy. I was like, that was God. Because nobody's ever asked me that. And I never looked at it that way. But now when I talk to other people, I'm like, it's down to like the simplest, smallest little things that you would never think about. Like, think about those things, because if somebody wants to invest in you,
Absolutely.
that's another thing. Then what? Nobody wants to invest in somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, or don't know how much they're bringing in yearly, monthly, whatever. You don't want to go to a doctor that doesn't know how to give a needle, right? So why would you invest your money however much you want to invest in somebody? So I'm still learning along the way, because like I said, I never would have thought, but because I do hair and I've made it this far, I know I can make it this far in this business.
Absolutely.
Because business is business. You just have to learn what business
and you have
you're
good
in.
product. And I think a lot of times people do things and they are obsessed with the money, but they are not consistent in good productivity. And I'm not just saying that because Brayer's in front of my face. If you know who I am, I will tell you the truth. That is a really good cake. So I'm really proud of you, and I wish you nothing but success, so I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Because it's not easy to start something as baking, because you know how many people want to be bakers, and a lot of people cook from their house, and a lot of people have their own great-great-great-grandmother's recipes, and they make stuff for church and family functions, but they're in their own way. They're scared to make that leap. So, like, for you, like, what would you say your toughest struggles were being, trying to bake and staying focused in that area?
So, my first really big struggle would be when I was by myself. What I started doing, so sometimes I have to step outside of that, step back really quick and, like, look at the whole scenario and then think, like, okay, how can I make this work for myself? And, like, I had the conversation with Shannon, and I was like, look, I'm going to hold this shit down. Like, I'm going to hold this shit down. Like, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make this work, because I don't want it to be like and then like people overlook it. So I'm gonna make this mark for us, and I feel like that's kind of why we are where we are, because I was super persistent. Like, I did not play no games with posting, and I made it my daily conversation, like dead ass. My daily conversation. I'm in the market, okay? I'm buying cake boxes. Soon as the person asks, "Oh, what you bake?" Yup, I bake cake, and this is my Instagram, and this is a business card, like dead ass. And that's how a lot of the time, that's how I started getting like the press, just people wanting to do it, and word of mouth and all that good stuff. The hardest thing for me overall is people who don't understand how much you put into what you're doing. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, I want people to understand that shit hurts your feelings. You know what I mean? Like, when you go out your way for people, and I have done that, and for me, I'm so passionate about it that I try not to get mad, like, in my feelings, because you have to really take that, chuck it up, because it's like, what you want to do? You want to fight? You see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, we gonna fight? So you can't look at it like that. You have to really chuck that up and just swallow it and move on. Because I've had a few people, in my past orders where, these are people that I know. Like, you've sat in my chair, I've done your hair. You may have came over my house before or something, or you just talk to me all the time. So I've had people order cakes for me and be like, I really need this cake. Oh my God, I know it's last minute. And so I had told Shannon, like, absolutely not. Like, we're not doing last minute orders for these specific reasons. So I had like one person beg me for it, like really begged me, like no lie, begged me for this last minute cake. And I was working, like this is literally like the next day she needed this cake or something like that. Within a course of like 24 hours, she needed a cake. I made this cake for her. I need y'all know this. BITCH did not respond to my messages. Like, do you want to pick it up? Oh, I'm going to pay at 10 o'clock. I get off at this time. And so it wasn't the fact that you didn't pay. It wasn't the fact that you didn't get the cake. It was the fact that this is a self-made business that I built from the ground up, and that you would have the audacity to not even call me, text me, let me know what's going on. And I sent a very lengthy text. It was nice, but it was straightforward. Like, don't play with my business. I don't play with my business. I would never play with anybody else's. And I think that that's the hardest. It make you emotional sometimes because we Black. You know what I mean? And it's just like, everybody shaking their head like, you damn right. Because let's be honest, Black people don't support each other. And it's fucked up. It's just really like, sad. But when it comes down to, like hair or clothes, designer shit, like people will go and support and give their last.
Some names they can't even pronounce. Child.
How do you know I didn't put my last into this to make this happen for you? So that's what I'm going to say is tough. Just the respect that we have for each other, the support that we have for each other. We need that more. Like, absolutely. It's been so many times where I have stepped to the side and went in a dark corner, and maybe I had to cry for a second because I just put so much into it. And, when you're putting a lot into something, you're expecting so much to come out. But as you grow and you get a little wiser, you understand it's just not like that. Like, sometimes you got to take a loss to win. And I realize that. That's why I don't get in my feelings anymore about it. But at first, it come with the territory. So I had to learn how to chuck it up and put the deuce up and just keep on moving and not entertain every little thing that pisses me off, because it's going to happen. You got to work a little bit harder. Like, I tell Shannon all the time, like I remember us having a conversation. She going to kill me if she hit us. I remember having a conversation, and she was like, well, if I have time, I asked her something, and she was like, well, if I have time to bake or whatever, then I'm going to do it. And so the main point that I made to her was you have to be there. Just like when you go to this job, this 9 to 5, you have to be there from 9 to 5 to get that check, right?
Same energy.
It's the same. And me and one of my friends, I will never forget, me and my friend Christian, we went back and forth for like an hour because she didn't believe. I told her the difference between self-employment and working for somebody is the mindset. We tell ourselves we got to go to work every day from this certain time to make this amount of money. Why can't we have the same mindset for our own?
Absolutely.
If I get up and I sell, let's say I make $100, if I sell 10 of these cakes, the same amount that I would have made 9 to 5. But I have to actually get up and do it. Why are you telling yourself that I have to get up and work for this person? Tell yourself that you have to get up and work for yourself. What's the difference?
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to... And me and my friend, we literally argued for like a fucking hour. I swear to God. She was like, Brayer, it's not the same. I'm like, yes,
exactly
the fuck it is. It's the mindset. You're telling yourself you got to get up for this corporate job, but you're telling yourself that you can be lazy because you work for yourself. No, you can't be lazy when you're working, period. I don't give a fuck who it's for. It's for somebody else. Either you're helping somebody else's dream or you're helping your own dream.
Preach.
And yeah, for me, I tell, and my mom is so like, because I want to include her in everything, because she's amazing at cooking and baking, and my whole family is. She's like, oh, you just can't depend on people. I said, right, that's why you can depend on us. Like, we're a family. Like, if we start this from that aspect up, we'll be good. We don't have to depend on bringing other people. When you're just picking these people don't understand where you bought this from, where this came from.
Right.
We naturally have that gift, so I want her to embrace it. It is.
Boys to start talking in terms of we.
Right. Because she's so old school, and I think that a lot of the times with older people, they are so independent in doing things that they're self that they don't look at it like that. They just don't want to be bothered with other people. That's her. She's like, oh, because I don't want to, these people are going to do this. And I'm like, Mom, like, you're predicting this. Like, it didn't even happen. So we going to get there. But I'm baby. It's baby steps for her. We going to slide her on in there really, really slow. But I'm trying so hard. Like, I try to get a lot of knowledge, and I definitely try to motivate my peers and just the people around me.
People don't understand how tough the food business is.
They don't. And you get critiqued so much by other people. I do want to say shout out to Poppy Cuisine, because that's who I partner with. And I'm going to shout him out because I feel like he's seen something in me and in the business that a lot of people didn't see. You know, I'm not even going to say their names, but I have tried to venture out with other businesses, and for me, I think it was more so a money thing. Like and I'm not going to undermine my prices because for a business, you know what I mean? I still have to make my money. So, but then that opportunity came, you know what I mean? So, one thing I will say about other businesses that I did reach out to was the difference was I went to them and he actually came to me. So that was a blessing. Because I feel like when somebody comes to you, they see something in you.
They really,
you know, and that. So I am thankful for that. I don't know. Is there anything else to say?
Absolutely. So for people who want to go into the field, because Brittany bakes. She's an amazing baker.
Like on the side of the side.
Come work my part-time girl.
She literally just made a cake like yesterday.
Like I made a cake last night for like a baby shower at work, and I posted it like on my Snap, and this girl was like, "I want one." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
You don't sleep with Brittany.
So
just say
like
yes.
I bake. Right. Oh no,
that's
no.
all
Yeah,
you
like,
can do.
So
Memorial
like
cake,
she was
girl,
like, I'm putting my order in. Right, and that's what
These
it was.
cupcakes that she made, girl.
But yeah, and I sold one just from posting my little pictures. So like, yeah.
So if that's what you really want to get into, all I can say, the biggest thing is persistence, and don't. If you come up with a set, whatever it is, pricing or whatever, just stick by it. Somebody gonna feel it. Like you just have people out here who kind of want to poke, like, oh, because they want to get a discount or they want to listen.
Basically.
Good customers get discounts. Like, I have people, like, one of my brother's friends, like, supports the shit out of my business. Like, it's to the point where, like, I could shed a tear about that shit because you just don't see that. You don't see people passionate about supporting your business. Like,
Absolutely.
and that right there, like, I will give this nigga anything for free. You want it? You can have it, because it's so hard to come by, like, people who are loyal to your business. And when I say loyal to my business, I don't mean, oh, you can't support anybody else's business. And see, that's the problem with black business. Oh, you can't support this person because you support me. No, you should be able to support whoever you want.
Absolutely.
So I love that. I love that he supports my business. I love that he really believes, like, I'm serious, to the point where we all sitting there like, nah. I told my girlfriend, like, this is where we getting this cake from. Like, he was dead serious. So that right there, just to see that, if I never went any further than where I am today, like, I would have never ever thought that somebody would fuck with my business that hard, that they would go to the next person and say, oh, like, some people done got 2 cakes in 1 week from their first order.
Right.
Like, damn, this was good. All right, I got a homegirl whose birthday coming up. I told them about you. Like, dead ass. Yeah. So, like, that's a blessing. Like, I literally have to take the time out to get down on my knees and pray about that, because I would have never thought. When we came up with this idea, I would have never thought. Never thought. And so from there, it made me realize, like, okay, we can be even bigger than that. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm trying. But I know that it needs to be smooth sailing, and I don't want to rush it, but I want to stay persistent. So that's what I've been doing for the most part.
And
like,
it's
I'm
working.
going to be baking tonight.
Absolutely. So if people want to get in touch with you and they want to see your work, like, what is the best way to get in contact with you, like your social media and everything?
So
like
we do have a Facebook like page, but I'm updating that now. We're also working on our website. We had one, but it's under construction.
Okay.
I love to show Instagram because I'm very persistent with posting on Instagram.
Yes.
It's videos. Like, I do pictures and videos. Sometimes add a little music. You want to bop your head a little bit. But our Instagram is _ the Big Crave, no spaces, with another underscore. So it's _ the Big Crave _ and that's how you find our page. If you don't have Instagram, you can visit the Instagram page. So it will be www.instagram.com/_ the Big Crave _ and that's how you can visit it from your web browser or Safari if you have an iPhone or whatever. And that's how you just pull the page up without having an Instagram, because the page is not private. So anytime I'm out, I always pull that up. I always give them the Instagram page, and that's how we kind of get a lot of followers and a lot of views from that. So I always say,
how can they contact you? Because if they don't have the IG, they probably can't do that, right?
Right. So then we also have a phone number. We have an email. Our email is thebigcrave1@gmail.com.
1 is the number, or 1?
1, the number 1, yes.
Okay.
So that's thebigcrave, the number 1@gmail.com if you want to email us. Our number is 410-921-1135. That's 1135. 410-921-1135.
Yes.
And that's how you can contact us. A lot of people call, but the best way I would say is text messaging, because we both do work. This isn't our full-time gig, so we are working during the day sometimes. And for anybody that does want to order, I'm just going to throw it out there a week in advance, okay? Please. Please. We do last-minute stuff, but we do charge a fee for that. But that's because we work, and then some people just want the impossible done in, like, 2 days.
Yeah, not even,
not even
tomorrow. Right.
Just we're regular people. We are not robots. We're going to do our best, but just give us that common courtesy and that
Absolutely,
respect
yes.
of time, and we will get back to anybody who is interested in hitting us up.
And please do, because her cakes are really
and we do
good.
a lot. Like, we do everything from cakes to candy apples, dessert tables.
You did give me a candy apple.
I did.
You
asked for that.
I did.
She randomly wanted a candy apple, or was it a cake pop? No, it was a candy apple. It was. Yeah.
It was so good. I wanted
it was a strawberry shortcake candy apple that I did for you.
I'm telling you.
And those are really good.
It's really good. That cake was amazing. It took me like a whole week. I had everybody coming over because you think it's a small cake until you cut it open. It's like, oh shit, this is a whole lot of cake.
Yeah.
It's just designed so nicely.
Oh yeah.
You actually did.
Look, I told her I'm gonna make one for you guys for inviting me on the show.
No, she made the strawberry.
I should have came bearing the damn cupcakes or cake
I think
or
we'll
something.
take cake at any time.
It's my birthday.
It's fine. I'm gonna give
you know where we at now, so
I do.
I know you got lost.
I might pop up in one of the shows with a cake on you guys.
So please.
But I'm not getting off at the wee hours of the night.
So please reach out to Bray.
You know what? I'm
like
trying
that.
to get on one of those shows. I was mad because I wanted to get on Cupcake Wars, and they didn't have any openings for entry for that one. One was a cooking show, and I was like, no, I want to do baking. So I'm going to try to get on one of them damn shows. So y'all guys might see me on one of those shows
get
one
Bray
day.
on. Come on.
Don't say I didn't say it. Don't be hating on me now.
Well, once you get on there, just let us know so we can.
I will, so you guys can support me and watch it. And
yes.
We will. While we eating your cake.
Hopefully I win. I'm really good at drawing and stuff, so that's why I wanted to get on one of those shows because I was watching Cupcake Wars one day and they had to do freehand drawing without cookie cutters for Christmas cupcakes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry, Christmas cookies. And I wanted to go on there so bad because that's my thing. Like, I can draw better than I thought I could. Like, really good.
Yeah.
I've drawn a few things that I didn't have access to, the cookie cutters or the molds. So I
had to do it freehand.
No, yes.
Okay.
I did.
Look, you talking about this persistence, girl. You keep being persistent. You gonna be one of those shows, and me and Brittany gonna drink wine.
I'm telling you, don't let me get that good at drawing tattoos, because I'll be a drawing pictures, because I'll be a tattoo artist too.
She'll be a hair slaying tattoo artist.
Like, yeah, can you bring my cake to my appointment, my tattoo appointment? And do my hair. Y'all, I be doing everything. I ain't playing.
Oh, God. So please visit Bray on her social media. Please order some cake, cupcakes, cake lollipops. Are those what they call? Cake pops?
Cake pops. Cake pops are really good.
Yeah, they really are. And her candy apples.
Can you go in with, what is a cake pop?
I knew. That's so funny you said that because I was going to get into it. So a cake pop it's really just cake. Okay. You know how you cut a slice of cake and it has icing in the middle? Yeah. It's all of it combined.
It's mixed all in a ball.
So you take, some people use pudding, some people use buttercream. And what you do is you bake a cake. So I would bake my layer, and then I would, once it's cooled off, I would take my hands and just crump it all up into like little pieces or whatever. And when it's soft, when it's cooling, it automatically breaks into pieces. Once you do that, you take like a scoop of whatever you want to use, buttercream, and you just put it in. And then if you have gloves or something, just go in and you start kneading the cake with the actual buttercream together, and it'll start forming. If you use too much, you'll know, because it's not supposed to be like super sticky, but it should form into like a doughy ball, and then you put it in the refrigerator and let it sit. So it's really good. Yeah, it is. Maybe that's what I'll bring you guys, so you can try it. Yeah, I'll do strawberry shortcake ones.
Girl, that's what
I'll do.
Yeah,
that's what I'll do. We're here every Friday. Yeah, every Friday night.
Every Friday night.
So next Friday, next Friday I should be able to bring you guys some, because I'm totally off that day. So I won't be in the shop. So
okay, we'll have liquor and cake pops.
I can put little liquor shots in.
Wait a minute.
I can. What kind of liquor y'all like?
The gospel.
Or I can do like assorted ones.
Girl, I like all types of alcohol. I do not discriminate.
Hennessy, Patron.
Girl, you gonna get me pregnant.
Ew.
Lord, be calling me like brown wine. Why did you give me the Hennessy in it? Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Right?
Yeah. But I would like to thank Brayer for coming onto the show and sharing her story.
Thank you for inviting me. Like, this makes me so happy.
No.
Of course. You are welcome anytime you want to come to the show. So
pop up on you like, hey, girl.
Especially if you bring a cake.
Yeah, no.
I'm I'm definitely do it. Y'all can hold me to that.
So for our ask to read for this week, this person is going to remain anonymous, but she said that she made plans to go on a date with this guy, and she saw on his snap that he was going out with his friends the same time they were supposed to go out on the date. She confronted him about it, and he was saying that she was being dramatic, and she wants to know if she was overreacting. The answer is,
girl,
no.
you're underreacting.
Hell no.
Nigga,
girl,
who are you? Like, if you want to make plans with somebody and you have a date with someone, I think out of respect, you can say like, hey, I wanted to really go out with you, but unfortunately, I'm going to go out with my friends instead. Or however you want to word that, but at least let the person know. Somebody should not find out information that should be coming from you on any social media platform. Mm-hmm. I think that is ridiculously beyond disrespectful.
Yeah, no respect
and
for
the
you.
fact that this nigga said that you were overreacting, like, cut him the fuck off and never talk to him the fuck again.
Right.
You know, and
I feel like he knew he messed up and he was just
and for him to put it on his snap, knowing you're gonna see it, like he gives no fucks.
Yeah.
So
no type of respect.
Yeah.
Who raised you niggas? Like, I don't understand. Like, that is.
Yeah, it's, and guys love defending each other, so that's how you know it's like
You know
no
he's
way.
dead.
Right.
But
So yeah, just leave him alone.
and right then and there, you just know like it's. I'm really simple. Like I'm not gonna go like be dramatic and think all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Right there, the only thing to know is that your friends come before me.
Exactly.
So whether we're together or not, it's a way. What did we say earlier? It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Absolutely.
So if you wanted to go with your friends, at least give me the decency to call me, the respect to call
tell
me and say,
me.
look, I'm going out with my friends. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's the most valuable thing.
Exactly. Because, bitch, I could have been out with my motherfucking friends.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I'm sitting here naring and waxing and plucking and
Now I'm bored as hell. And you out having a good
now
ass
I gotta
time.
be Netflix
No.
and chill by my damn self.
Yeah, you chilling.
You lucky I ain't watched the Snap nigga and pop the fuck up.
Use that snap with the location app, bitch, and pull
Now
up.
that would have been
And see, that's the
overreacting.
2018 bitches right here. That's what you don't want me to do is pop up.
Yeah, you don't want me to pull up on you.
See?
That's the one thing you don't
And
want
now
to
we
do.
crazy. No.
You fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think, like, I don't know how many times you've been with this person, like, regardless of what it is, like, just leave him alone. Just block this nigga. Because he has no respect for you. He has no respect for your time. And that is the one most valuable thing that we can never get back on this earth is our time. So.
And so did she did she know him? Or this was her first time going out
I have no idea. I'm just going to assume that.
It was the first time.
I would say this is the first time. Because I don't think no nigga is stupid enough to do this.
But aren't they?
That's true.
But aren't they? And see, that's crazy that she says that. Because the reason why I asked that question is because, let's be honest, we've been on the earth a little long. We almost 30. So, I'm sorry. I put it out there. I'm sorry, y'all. We almost got to 30. You can hear it in my voice.
We didn't go to school together.
But this is what I will say. I mean, it ain't like it's literally no respect anymore. Like, remember how you tried to at least front if you wasn't shit, and try to do shit a certain way when you first met a girl. Now it's fuck it, we don't care. We straight just
from the beginning. Balls out with the
we just dragging. That's what Baltimore people say. We dragging on bitches today. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Like dummy. It's just fuck this girl. I have no respect for her, dummy. Yeah, what it is, dummy. Fuck it is, dummy. At least call a bitch up and say, fuck it is, dummy. I gotta cancel these plans tonight or whatever, shorty, whatever, and then do you. But
you don't even do that. You use social media as a
I'm just minding my damn business, scrolling on the damn Snap timeline to hear your ass is. We supposed to be on the whole date. So yes.
Yeah, no. So that's absolutely ridiculous. So please,
girl, drag on his ass.
Yeah, drag on that nigga and cut that nigga.
I don't care if you got to meet a nigga you never seen in your life at the mall, girl. Just snap a goddamn picture with him and just post it. A nigga gonna be in his feelings. And that's it. Yeah, you don't even got to know that. It could be the homeless man. And nigga was still going to be in his feelings.
You're not overreacting. You
not at all.
Completely competent in these feelings. You have every right to feel the way you need to feel. And just make sure you cut this nigga the fuck off. Like,
exactly.
Don't even give him the audacity of wasting your breath and time. Because obviously you're not even worth his. So
That's
keep it moving, baby girl.
Overreacting is you giving him a BCR essay paragraph about how you was in your feelings about a girl. Just fuck him and just move on.
Why do I feel like you did this?
Huh? No, because I didn't do it. I didn't do it, but
I felt like that was from experience.
Because guys, so guys always say that women send essay text messages, and guess what? A guy told me this. I swear on everything I love. He said, and I only read the first goddamn sentence. So from that day,
because them niggas only respond
the only
to
time,
one name.
right? If he sends
fucking
me
text.
a paragraph, maybe I'll send one back. But if I'm mad about something, I'm not sending you a fucking paragraph because you're not gonna read it.
I like that.
You're not gonna. You're gonna skim, and then you're gonna address what you want to address.
Just in a whole bunch of dots and emojis.
Yeah, just never talk to him again, and that's gonna hurt him more. So
Absolutely,
it is what it is.
That's true.
Cut that nigga off. Yeah, just leave him alone.
Leave him alone,
Leave
sis.
him alone. So for our words of wisdom this week, it is optimism is the faith that leads to achievement, and that is by Helen Keller. So in order to achieve goals, you got to have a positive mindset, just like Bray was saying. Not only do you need persistence and hard work, but it also starts with your mind. You know, so if you really believe in something and you work hard towards it, you actually can get it done. So make sure that when you're going through the storm, you still got to smile. Mm-hmm. You can cry sometimes. Shit get rough. Please believe me, I know all too well. But you also got to make sure at the end of the day that this is the plan A. Mm-hmm. There will be no plan B, because guess what? I know for sure, no matter how long it takes, no matter what it takes, I am going to make it. So make sure you also have that positive mindset. And Helen Keller was the first woman to receive a Bachelor's of Arts degree, and she was deaf and blind.
Wow.
She is the most famous deaf person in history. So shout out to Helen Keller for that quote. Yes. Yeah. All these powerful women in the world.
She was all three, I think.
Wait, what?
Blind and couldn't speak for a while.
Wow. Yeah, she couldn't speak for a while. It's amazing. So you don't ever say what you can't do.
Yeah.
Because our ancestors have proved time and time again of all the obstacles that they had with lesser resources than what we have, and they still have achieved more than what we have.
And sometimes you gotta dumb it down and like explain what optimism is, because people don't know what optimism is. Some people
your head to the sky.
Hey, you can win, you can win, as long as you keep your head to the sky. If you don't know what that song is, it's
open your mind. That's all.
Blackness.
Yes.
It's called Optimistic. It will explain and break it down and make you feel good on the inside. That is something you need to wake up to. But optimism is just positivity.
Yeah, and opening your mind. Don't be one-sided.
Nope.
Because you never know what's on that other side.
And you might be blocking your own blessings from your own ignorance and your own fear.
Yep.
So, keep it optimistic. I'm really about to download that song.
Oh my God.
You about to make me go say that? Like, no. You need to be optimistic, okay?
Your hair to I feel like that should be the new.
They're going to be like, Sarita has got you saying optimistic all day long.
You can win. I could just hear like old church ladies singing in the back, just singing that song to me.
Can we just talk about something really funny really quick? This is a side note.
Yes.
To your mom when the Eagles
won
the Super Bowl, okay? I have not talked to Serena. We've been back and forth about me coming to do this podcast, and when I say, I need you to understand how funny that was to me. I literally, I reposted it on my damn story, my Snap story on Insta or whatever, because that was so funny to me. Like, she was very passionate.
And knowing her personality made it even
my mom is the
better.
Most conservative,
right?
I loved it. It was so funny.
Person. And the funny thing about it, I have multiple videos of like sabotaging her. That wasn't the only video. She kept FaceTiming me and talking shit to me, and she's like, "What? Patriots? What?"
She was going off. I just thought that was so funny.
Allegedly, she had like a couple of shots, and my mom is a wine cooler person, so she was extra lit. That's why you got that video. But
I was cracking up. That made my day. I had to talk about that because that really had made my day at the time that I reposted it. That's how funny it was.
You know what? It's so funny. People still hit me about that video. And it's, we're a month in, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you. That's just...
You need to come be my cheerleader.
Hilarious.
I need that, okay?
You need this type of energy on a Monday morning or something. I don't know where she got that energy from, to be quite honest. But the Eagles didn't win their first Super Bowl. So
she belonged on the Shade Room. I said that. I was like, this should have made it to the Shade Room. Like, I don't understand how it didn't. That, shout out to your mother. That was hilarious.
You put me on Facebook? I said, yeah, girl.
They needed to see that passion, okay?
I said, guess what was your Instagram? Well, what they say? They just said that she was mad hype. Like, nothing bad. No negativity. But, yeah, girl. I still laugh at these videos that I have on my phone. But I want to thank Brayer once again and Britt for joining us. And this is
Bitch, Let's Talk.
If you can't get enough of Bitch Let's Talk, you can always follow us on IG and Facebook at BLT Podcast and on Twitter at Bitch Let's Talk. If you want more content and updates on the show, you can always go to our website, bltpodcast.com.